Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Our game of the week is a top 10 ACC Showdown as number 10 North Carolina State takes on number 5 Clemson in Death Valley. Guys, this game is huge. Huge for the playoff race and huge for the Atlantic Division. This game right here could easily determine who wins the ACC Atlantic. The winner certainly will be in the driver's seat of it. NC State, they beat Clemson last year, 27-21 in double overtime. But now the game is in Death Valley. Can the Wolfpack pull off the upset again? That is what we're here to answer today. So again, guys, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, ready to break down this top 10 showdown between the Wolfpack and the Tigers. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Guys, we have some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country over on our website. Go sign up for those today. One of the lowest prices in the country for one of the best marks in the country, meeting out over 80% of the national analysts every single year. You do not want to miss out on that. 84% on the money line, 63% against the spread. Can't get much better than that. Go take advantage of it and start winning with us today here at the Gridiron Expert. So let's take a look at NC State and Clemson, guys. Again, the Wolfpack pulled off the upset last year. It ended Clemson's season, giving the Tigers their second loss of the year. It snapped an 8-game losing streak for NC State. 8 straight games they had lost to Clemson. They snapped that last year. But now the test is a lot tougher. I mean, still same team. Still NC State, still Clemson, but it's in Death Valley. It's at night. College game day is there. And the stakes have never been higher. Obviously, this game could determine the division, but the winner of this will be taken seriously as a playoff contender. I mean, they both are, but they're arguably getting over their toughest test of the year, each of these teams. Playoff could very well be within reach for either team, depending on who wins. Take a look at the offense, guys. NC State, they are very solid offensively, and they're doing it with one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country in Devin Leary. He's already thrown for 890 yards, 9 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Has a phenomenal wide receiver, his go-to target in Thayer Thomas. Already has 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Wolfpack guys, Dave Dover and squad, they're averaging 36 points per game and 411 total yards per game. And this is a team that clearly wants to throw the football. And when you've got a guy like Devin Leary under center, when you've got a guy that is tall, strong, great arm, accurate, takes care of the football, you want to throw the football. But they're also averaging 157.5 rushing yards per game. And what NC State has to do to win this game, they've got to remain balanced the whole way through, just like they were last year. Last year against Clemson, the Wolfpack had 238 passing yards and 148 rushing yards and dominated the time of possession, holding the ball for 41 minutes and 48 seconds. So nearly 3/4 of the game, NC State possessed the ball. If they can come at Clemson with this balanced attack again, they have a very good chance to win this game. When you look at the Tigers, guys, we looked at them these last few weeks and we go, the offense, it's not entirely there. I mean, yes, they were winning. They blew out Furman and Georgia Tech and Louisiana Tech and stuff like that. But it was like, when you placed Wake Forest, what were we going to see? I don't think many people thought they had the offense to hang with the Demon Deacons. Thought it had to be won by Clemson's defense. Well, DJ Uiagalelei said, hold my beer. He said, I've heard all of your criticism and all you doubters, and I'm going to go out there and prove you wrong. Last week against Wake Forest, Clemson dropped 51 points, had 559 yards, and DJ Uiagalelei, who has struggled all year, threw for 371 yards and 5 touchdowns, his best performance since 2020, when he was lighting up Notre Dame and Boston College in those few starts without Trevor Lawrence. If DJ Uiagalelei keeps that swagger, if he keeps that play going, Clemson's going to be fine. If he does not regress against a stingy NC State defense, if he can, I'm not saying he's go out there and throw for nearly 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, but if he remains that accurate, delivering the way he was against Wake Forest, Clemson will be fine. Because they're averaging 275 passing yards per game, and they've got a pretty dang good running back of their own in Will Shipley, who already has 353 yards and 7 touchdowns on the year, leads an attack averaging over 180 rushing yards per game. So again, Clemson's offense, I feel like really took off against Wake Forest. Again, double overtime thriller. They won it in Winston-Salem, but it felt like it took off. They finally figured something out. The Question is, can they do it again back-to-back weeks against this stingy NC State defense? And I feel like that was kind of the storyline all offseason, was how good the Wolfpack's defense is going to be. 9 starters were back on that side of the ball, and they have a loaded front 7. Loaded front 7, especially in the linebacking core. I mean, you've got guys like Drake Thomas, Peyton Wilson, Jalen Scott, all of them back at linebacker and leading one of the best units, I would say, in the country. This is the NC State defense. It's allowing just 261.5 total yards per game and just 81.8 rushing yards per game. I think this is going to be Clemson's toughest defensive test they've faced yet for Clemson. But it's also NC State's toughest test they have faced yet as a defense. I mean, they've played East Carolina, Charleston Southern, Texas Tech, and UConn. Haven't really faced anybody. Resume's not really there. So it's really a tough test for them across the board. When you look at Wolfpack again, 9 takeaways this season. 9 takeaways. They know how to generate pressure. They know how to stop the run. So if they can shut down Will Shipley and force Uiagalelei to throw the ball, that's how they're going to do it. Try to force him into mistakes and say, hey, DJ, you looked good last week. You looked great last week against a pretty spotty Wake Forest defense. Let's see if Lightning can strike twice. Can you put up those numbers again against our defense? That is what NC State has to do to win. Obviously, when you look at Clemson and their defense, they are loaded up front. We've known that. One of the best defensive lines in the entire country. A unit that's only allowing 79.3 rushing yards per game, and the defensive line as a whole has 8 sacks already on the year. The biggest concern for Clemson is their secondary. And you don't want to hear that when you're facing an elite quarterback in Devin Leary. Clemson's letting up 267 passing yards per game. They allowed 337 passing yards to Sam Hartman and Wake Forest. And you'll say, well, okay, that's fine. That's Sam Hartman and Wake Forest, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Well, look a little closer. They allowed 311 passing yards to Louisiana Tech. They allowed 256 passing yards to Furman. The secondary really hasn't been there this season. And they're going to have to step up in a big way to beat Devin Leary and NC State. So for both teams, they have one goal. For NC State, it is, again, to shut down the run, defensively shut down the run and get after DJ. See if Lightning can strike twice. See if he can deliver again like he did last week against Wake Forest. For Clemson, it is to create pressure on Devin Leary, right? Get after him. You got to find a way to make sure he doesn't deliver. Got to make sure you find a way that he doesn't exploit your kind of weak and questionable secondary. I don't think either team's going to have much success on the ground. If I had to pick one team to have more, it would be Clemson. It would be Clemson and Will Shipley, but I think it's going to come down to quarterback play. It's going to come down to who can deliver through the air going into this game. Which defense, breaks first, really. Guys, final analysis here. So much, again, is at stake. Number 5 and number 10. Both teams in the same division. So the winner is in sole control of the Atlantic Division. And really, I think if Clemson wins this game, they've pretty much wrapped it up because they would have taken down their 2 toughest tests. If Clemson wins this game over NC State, they would have already defeated Wake Forest and NC State. Florida State's looking pretty good, but even if they were to lose the Seminoles, they still own the tiebreaker over Wake Forest, NC State, both those teams that Florida State has yet to play. So Clemson wins, they're looking pretty good. If NC State wins, still got to play Wake Forest, still got to play Florida State, but they're looking pretty good too. And they'll be taken seriously as a playoff contender, easily would be a top 5 team heading into Week 6. But bottom line, guys, I really view this as a close, competitive, relatively low-scoring matchup. Last year, just 27-21. Wouldn't be surprised if it was about the same score this year. Both defenses are that stingy, and they're going to really make each quarterback, struggle a little bit in this game. But in NC State, guys, they have not won at Clemson since 2002. Have not won at Clemson since 2002. It is a night game in Death Valley. These are the type of games that Dabo Swinney and the Tigers live for. This is the type of game that they are no stranger to. And I think at home, Clemson delivers. DJ has his swagger back. He found himself again. Struggled in 2021. Struggled the early part of this year. He found himself against Wake Forest. I think he turns in another very solid performance against this NC State defense. The Clemson defense steps up when they need to. At least get one pick off of Devin Leary, which will turn in to Tiger points. And Clemson wins a close game. Will not win it by more than 10, if that. Wins a close game in Death Valley and remain the king of the ACC until really proven otherwise. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, Check out everything down in the description below. Again, those expert picks are there. Some of the best college football and NFL picks in the country for one of the lowest prices in the country. We want you to take advantage of it and come win with us today to be a part of our GE Nation. So take advantage of that. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.